Hi friends, hope you're doing great. In today's video, we're going to see one of the common questions that most of the researchers have when they're getting started with a career. Even I had this when I transitioned my role from a designer to a researcher. And the question is, how do we get started with the research in itself? So that is what we're going to discuss today. So stay tuned. As I said, this is one of the common questions we get when we are getting started with a project. Even though we know the processes or the steps involved, getting started is the trickier part. While we have BRD document or business requirement documentation for design process to get started, for research it's a bit trickier where we will not have a written documentation as such. So it's all about understanding what we are trying to get an answer for. So the potential questions that the product teams wants us to find an answer. And that is precisely what we need to ask and get started with the research activities. So let us see what are those questions. The first question is, what is the purpose of this research? By asking this question, you will be able to understand what exactly the product teams are trying to uncover with the help of research. The potential answers could be something like uncover the user needs, validate the existing design, or generate new ideas. The second question could be for what the findings from the research will be used for. By asking this question, we will be able to identify the exact need of conducting the research. At the end of the research, whatever findings that you have uncovered will help us to form some kind of a user story, or it could be something like refining your design. So the potential answers, as I said, could be generate new user stories or redesign or refine your existing design. The third question is on finishing the research, what should the team need to know? The whole intent is we are trying to understand what exactly collectively as a team we should be able to get as an outcome or an output from our research. So the potential answers could be finding key insights and recommendations, or even the next steps that we need to take in order to get started with our product development. These are the questions that we can ask our product teams to get started with our research activities. But how do we even ask those questions? We can ask these questions by scheduling a brainstorming session or a one on one session with our product team, or communicating it through other channels like email, Slack, or even Teams by properly documenting it. So, what's next step? Once you get a proper response from your product team, you might start planning your research activities. Then you might be thinking about what could be the methodologies that you can employ, the efforts that might be required, or even a rough schedule that you are planning to do. Again, you will validate the same with your product teams and then get started with your research activities. And that is how you will go about and initiate your research activity. Hope this information was really helpful for you guys. I'll be back with another video very soon. Until then, it's a goodbye.